Hi friends, welcome to Be Strong and Love Yourself, a channel for very strong people. I'm Dasha Bisali and I created this channel to share the ideas that help me to be happier with the hope that they will help you too. Today I want to share some tips that help me to be emotionally stronger. But first I want to share a quick story about myself that kind of triggered me to create this video and to start working on myself. About a month ago, I was in the airport and there was one rude lady who wasn't nice to me, and I literally started to cry over there. And I was sitting there in this public environment, and all of a sudden I realized that such a little thing was able to trigger me to have such an emotional return and the reaction. I couldn't believe that the woman that I've seen for the first time in my life and would never see again was able to affect me so much. In the past, when I was single years ago, more than 2 years ago, I was constantly in pain because I didn't have a partner and I wanted to have one. And because of that, I used to work on myself all the time. And I actually was able to create a very joyful life for myself, joyful, peaceful, and I was very emotionally strong, actually. When I met my husband, I was in a very good state in my life, but I had to put a lot of efforts to get there. But then when I met my husband, I kind of relaxed. Here's this wonderful man. He supports me. He's kind. Oh, I probably don't have to worry about my exercises, brain exercises anymore. So I forgot about them and lost my routine. And here I am sitting in the airport crying because of some unknown person. So at this point I realized that I need to go back to my routine. Another person cannot really make me happy, even if he's amazing. And it's almost like, let's say you go to gym and you work on your muscles. Then you met a partner and you told him all of a sudden, you know what, honey, now I have you. You will go to the gym. I will be sitting on this couch, eating chips, enjoy my life. You will lift this weight and I will gain some muscles. But it obviously doesn't work like that. Another person cannot build the muscles in your body for you. And the same thing, I think, it is with your brain muscle. You do need to lift this weight by yourself. So this is just a short story of why I started to work on myself again. And as I said, it was a month ago when I realized that I needed to do something. And now, months later, I feel wonderful and I already can see the benefits of my exercises. And I see the difference. That's why, for me, it was very important to share this video, because I think that even little efforts can make a difference in your life and can make you much happier and make your life much more joyful. So now let's move to tips. And tip number one is find your spiritual teacher, someone that you trust, someone that share your beliefs and who can help you to find the truth. I remember I was watching one of the videos with Buddhist monk Thich Nhat Hanh, and he said that sometimes we suffer because we have wrong beliefs. And it's very important to see the true nature of things. And that's why I think spiritual teacher is important, because you can listen to him and see this true nature of things that sometimes we can lose. And we get lost in general, and spiritual teacher can show you the path out. They are like guides for us in life. And as I mentioned, Thich Nhat Hanh, for example, is one of the teachers that I love. But on a daily basis, I personally listen to Michael Singer, the author of The Untethered Soul, Surrender Experiment books. And his main idea is that we all have preferences and we have external environment. And a lot of people, they try to match external environment to their preferences. But if you do it all your life, you waste a lot of energy, because not everything in external world you can change, and if you can't, then you become all upset and sad and cry like I was crying in the airport. So sometimes things happen, and you can train yourself to work with some mismatch. He says that it's very important to not to leave the seat of consciousness, this is how he calls it, when you can observe your own thoughts and your own emotions, but you not necessarily interact with them. So become an observer and don't get too sucked into your own emotions. So it's not about fighting emotions and thoughts, it's more about observing them without reaction. So when I listen his talks all the time, it's a good reminder for me, and very helpful. I find it very helpful. Tip number 2 is have a good sleep. It's kind of straightforward, very obvious, everyone knows about it, just a reminder. I'm not going to talk too much about this one. Tip number 3 is mindfulness practice. To me, meditation is about paying attention to certain things and try to focus on them. For example, focus on your breath or scan your body. And when I do that, a lot of times, always, I notice that at some point my thoughts start to walk away and I start to wonder and start to think about, oh, am I going to cook for dinner? What do I need to buy? Or what happened with me during the day? And then I noticed that I started to wonder, and I bring back my thoughts to breath. And this mindful act of bringing back your consciousness to what you want to focus on, I think is very important mindfulness practice. Not even the focusing on breath itself, but bringing this focus back is very important. I also have mantra on my YouTube channel, 2 minutes, very short, and it's more like peaceful, very short talk on how everything will be fine. I listen to it every day as well. And it's just a piece of positivity for me. Tip number, 4? I already messed up my counting, but it's walking. So walking helps a lot to keep your brain healthy in general. I just watched a couple of podcasts with 2 different neuroscientists, and both of them were talking about 30 minutes walk 3 times a week, how this exercise, this very simple exercise actually that most of people can do, can prevent some diseases when you get older, 60, 65 plus years old. So in general, workout helps your brain, but I think walking, for me personally, creates all this positivity in general. It's not, because I also like dancing, I do some body weights exercises, some little dumbbells exercises, but walking specifically is what helps me with my emotions. Tip number 5 is me time. I think for everyone it's very important to find some time for self-care and do maybe little things, but constantly. I personally love some tea that smells good, some herbs, and this warmth of the tea. And I also like to give myself face massages. I like different types of skincare in the evening. So it doesn't take a lot of time, but this way I show myself that, hey, I love you, I take care of you, I always remember about you. And when I sit with the book in the morning, have my cup of tea, then the whole day kind of goes better. And the last but not the least, extremely important for me, is to learn new things. What I noticed is that the more I learn, the less time I have to judge other people. And learning new things helps me not to think of what somebody did wrong to me, because I learn all this stuff and I'm like, oh my God, today I learned this thing, yesterday I learned that thing. And I start to think about all this new information and I try to process it. And because I have all this new information in my mind, I don't have time to judge anybody. So if you want to become less judgmental and, as a result, mentally healthier and emotionally more stable, try to learn as much new things as possible. It doesn't really matter what. I watch podcasts. I like to watch documentaries. I watched the Ancient World documentary the other day. At the same time, I take classes about finances. It doesn't matter, as long as this information is interesting to you and it's new, it should work. So these are my 6 tips. I will summarize them for you. Tip number 1 is try to find spiritual teacher who will help you to see the true nature of things. Try to sleep well, then also try to meditate. It's better to meditate for a little bit every day than not to meditate at all. Don't forget about nice walks at least 3 times a week. Try to find time for self-care and learn new things. So these are my tips. I want to say a huge thank you for watching this video. I appreciate it a lot. I hope you found something useful in it. And please remember, be strong and love yourself. Love wins always.